Hello everyone. In this lecture we are going to talk about an important topic, which is planning, forecasting and goal setting. Three important topics in one lecture. They are interrelated to each other in organizational management. For the reference of our topics, we can use those two books, chapter 3 in the first one and chapter 8 from the second book. First of all, planning. Planning is a fundamental management function that involves setting goals and developing strategies or creating plans to achieve those goals. It is the process of determining what an organization wants to accomplish and how it will go about achieving those goals. In the context of project management, planning is crucial for defining the project's objectives, determining the scope of the work, and creating a roadmap to guide the project's execution. It provides a structured method for identifying the desired outcome and designing a sequence of programs and activities to accomplish those objectives. Formal planning involves setting specific, measurable, and time-oriented goals. These goals are written down and shared with the relevant stakeholders to ensure common understanding and alignment of efforts. And by having clearly defined goals, the project team can work towards a shared vision and have a clear direction for actions. Effective planning actually is very important because it helps us in several ways. It provides a sense of purpose and direction. It allows teams to focus their efforts on achieving specific objectives. It also helps us in resource allocation, and it identifies the necessary resources such as human resources, materials, and budget, and also required to execute the project successfully. Additionally, planning helps us in identifying potential risks, which is very important, and the challenges that allows for mitigating strategies to be developed in advance. As an overall, planning is an essential process in the project management, as it sets the foundation for successful project execution. It provides a roadmap and aligns stakeholders and guides decision making throughout the project lifecycle. Here we have the most important questions that the manager should answer while managing a company or managing an organization. We have to ask ourselves, if we are managers, we have to ask ourselves, why do we plan? So managers plan to several reasons. They are answering the question why. It means they are setting clear goals. Why are we going to have these goals? They are allocating resources effectively. It means who is going to do that thing, who is or what should be done in the organization. And also they are coordinating and integrating activities. It means how are these activities interrelated to each other. Manage the risks. So they have to answer the question, what if this happened and what if this one not happened. Make informed decisions. okay, and improve its efficiency and effectiveness, and also adapt the changes. So we have to answer all these important questions while we are managing a company or an organization. So, planning and performance. The relationship between planning and performance in organizations has been studied throughout many decades, and there are many findings has been emergent in the research. First of all, formal planning and financial results. Research suggests that organizations that engage in formal planning processes tend to achieve better financial outcomes. This indicates a positive association between formal planning and positive financial results. Secondly, quality of planning and implementation. The quality of planning and how well it is implemented is considered more important than the context or quality of planning. It is not just about having a plan in place. It is also about effectively executing and implementing the plan. This is very important. The third point is external factors and planning impact. External factors such as market conditions, competition, and economic factors, they can influence the impact of planning. The impact of planning and on the performance. While planning is important, external factors can sometimes limit or reduce the direct impact of planning on organizational performance. The fourth point is planning time frame. The relationship between planning and performance may be influenced by the time frame of the planning process. Different planning horizons, such as short-term or long-term planning, may have varying impacts on performance outcomes. As an overall, these findings suggest that formal planning can have a positive impact on performance, particularly when it is of high quality and effectively implemented. It has a very crucial impact on the performance. However, external factors and the time frame of planning should also be taken into account when assessing the planning performance relationship. Types of plans. There are various types of plans that organizations use to guide their activities and achieve their goals. Four common categories of plans are discussed here. The first one is the breadth of plans. Okay, it has two sections. The first one is the strategic plans and the operational plans. Strategic plans, these plans focus on the overall direction and long-term goals of the organization. They outline the strategies and initiatives required to achieve the organization's mission and vision. And strategic plans typically cover a significant time horizon, ranging from 3 to 5 years or even longer. On the other hand, operational plans are more specific and detail-oriented. They outline the day-to-day activities and actions required to implement the strategic plans. Operational plans are typically shorter. They are shorter in scope and cover a period of 1 year or less. Examples of operational plans include like marketing plans or financial plans, or we can say production plans. And the second category is the time frame of plans. It also has two main sections, the long-term one and the short-term plans. The long-term plans typically cover a time horizon like the strategic plans uh, of 3 to 5 years or more. And they focus on setting a long-term goals, strategies, and resources, and resource allocation for achieving those goals. Long-term plans are usually associated with strategic plans. Short-term plans cover a time frame of 1 year or less. They are more detailed and specific. They focus on immediate actions and objectives. Short-term plans are often associated with operational planning and are meant to guide day-to-day operations and short-term goals. The third category is the specificity. The specificity plans, they have also two main categories: directional plans and specific plans. Directional plans, these plans provide a broad, overarching framework for the organizational goals or objectives. They do not go into detailed implementation steps, but rather focus on setting the overall direction and priorities. Specific plans, or we can say operational plans, are more specific and detailed compared to strategic plans. They break down the strategies into objectives or into actionable steps. They outline the specific tasks, resources, and timelines required to achieve them. The last one is the frequency of use. The frequency of use, it also has two main categories. The single-use plans. Single-use plans are developed for a specific one-time purpose or event. They are not intended for ongoing use. For example, project plans or event plans or contingency plans for specific situations. The second one is the standing or ongoing plans. The standing or ongoing plans, they are designed for repetitive or ongoing use. They provide a framework for regular activities and procedures. For example, or examples may include policies, standard operating procedures, and guidelines that apply to routine operations. It's important to know that these categories are not mutually exclusive, and organizations often develop plans that span different breadths and time frames. The specific types of plans used by an organization may vary depending on size, industry, and specific needs. The foundation for planning. The foundation for planning is in an organization typically consists of four main components. The first one is the mission. The mission statement defines the organization's core purpose, and it is the reason for existence. Uh, it articulates the organization's overall identity, values, and activities. The mission statement provides a guiding framework for organizations' planning efforts. The second one is purpose or goal. The purpose represents what the organization aims to achieve in the long term. It is a broad statement that outlines the desired outcome or result the organization is working towards. The purpose or goal sets the direction and serves as a reference point for planning and decision making. The third one is the objectives. Objectives are specific, measurable, and time-bound targets that support the organization's purpose or goal. They provide clarity and focus by breaking down the overarching goal into smaller, achievable steps. Objectives are typically set at different levels, such as organizational, departmental, or individual, to align efforts and ensure the progress towards the overall goal. The fourth one, strategies. Strategies are the broad approaches and plans of action. They are designed to achieve the objectives. They outline how the organization will allocate the resources, leverage strengths, and address the challenges to accomplish the desired outcomes. Strategies serve as a roadmap that are guiding the organization's decisions and actions across the various functional areas. These components can establish the foundation for planning in an organization. The mission provides the overarching purpose, the goal sets the direction, objectives define specific targets, and strategies outline the approaches to be taken. Effective planning builds upon this foundation to develop detailed plans, allocate resources, and guide the organization toward success. What is a strategic plan? A strategic plan is a comprehensive document that outlines why an organization exists, what it aims to achieve, okay, and how it plans to accomplish its objectives. Okay, it serves as a roadmap providing clarity and direction for the organization's actions and decisions. By focusing the organization's vision and priorities, a strategic plan helps align efforts towards the desired future state. It suggests some strategies and initiatives to identify and move towards these desired outcomes. They can help in guiding the resource allocation and leveraging the organization's strengths. The strategic plan is not just a theoretical document, but it involves the process of developing and implementing plans to reach a specific goal and objective. Okay, so it is a live document. Through effective implementation, the organization can monitor the progress or adjust strategies, and they can work towards its long-term success. So this is why a strategic plan is very important for organizations. Strategic planning does not. The following point is strategic planning has its limitations and characteristics that should be recognized, like predicting the future. Strategic planning does not have the ability to accurately predict the future. While it involves forecasting and anticipating trends and possibilities, it is based on assumptions. It is based on assumptions and estimations. The future is uncertain, and unexpected events can arise that may impact on the effectiveness of the strategic plan. Second, replace good leadership and judgment. Strategic planning is not a substitute for good leadership and sound judgment. While a strategic plan provides a framework and guidance, it still requires skilled leaders who can make informed decisions, okay, navigate complexities, and adapt the plan based on changing circumstances. The third point is follow a smooth, straightforward process. Strategic planning is often a complex and iterative process that involves multiple stages. Okay, inputs or inputs from various stakeholders, and the consideration of different perspectives. Strategic plan requires analysis, evaluation, and the involvement of individuals at different levels within the organization. It may not always follow a linear or straightforward path, and it can involve adjustments and refinements along the way. It is very important to note that a strategic plan is not a static document. It is a living and dynamic tool that should be regularly reviewed and adapted as needed. Okay? As the external environment changes, internal factors evolve, or new opportunities and challenges arise, the strategic plan should be flexible. It should be flexible enough to accommodate these changes and allow for adjustments in goals, strategies, and actions. This adaptability ensures that the strategic plan remains relevant and effective in guiding the organization towards its desired outcomes. Developing a strategic plan. Developing a strategic plan involves several key steps and processes. Here is an overview of the typical steps involved. The first one is assess the organization.
Uh, Begin by conducting a thorough assessment of the organization's current state. Okay, this includes evaluating its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, like what we have in SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is very important. Assess the organization's resources, capabilities, and performance to gain a clear understanding of its internal dynamics. Okay. The second point, um, developing a vision and mission. Define a compelling vision for the organization's desired future state and a mission statement that captures its purpose and core values. The vision and mission statements serve as guiding principles for the strategic plan. The third point is assess the environment. Conduct an environmental analysis. Okay, so you can understand the external factors that may impact the organization. This involves analyzing industry trends, market dynamics, competition, or regulatory changes, or maybe other relevant factors that could influence the organization's strategic direction. Another point is agree on priorities. Agree on priorities. Identify strategic priorities and goals that align with the organization's vision and mission. Okay. Engage key stakeholders in a collaborative process to prioritize objectives and determine the strategic focus areas that will drive the plan. Another point is write it all down. What does that mean? Write it all down. Document the strategic plan in a clear and comprehensive manner. This includes like defining the goals, defining the strategies, defining action plans, and resource requirements that may be necessary to achieve the desired outcomes. The plan should also be communicated to all stakeholders to ensure what? To ensure shared understanding and alignment. That's very important. Another point is implement. Okay, execute the strategic plan by assigning responsibilities, by allocating resources, and initiating action steps. And also develop a timeline and set milestones to track progress and ensure accountability. Okay, regularly communicate and engage with employees and stakeholders to keep them informed and motivated. Another point is monitor and evaluate. Monitor and evaluate. For this point, establish a system for monitoring and evaluating the implementation of the strategic plan. Continuously track progress against the defined goals and objectives. Measure performance indicators, KPIs, and make necessary adjustments as circumstances change. Regularly review the strategic plan to ensure it is ongoing relevance and effectiveness. This is how are we developing a strategic plan. By following these steps, organizations can develop a strategic plan that provides a roadmap for achieving their vision and mission while adapting to the changing environment and maintaining focus on key priorities. Okay, keys to effective strategic planning. Effective strategic planning requires certain key considerations to ensure its success. We have some essential elements. The first one is focus only on the most important issues. Strategic planning should prioritize the critical issues and objectives that will have the most significant impact on the organization's success. Avoid spreading resources and efforts to them by focusing on a few key areas that align with the organization's mission and strategic priorities. This was the first point. The second point, be willing to question. What does that mean? Effective strategic planning involves challenging assumptions, questioning the status quo, and embracing a mindset of continuous improvement. Encourage open and honest discussions to explore different perspectives. This is very important. To identify potential blind spots or uncover new opportunities or threats. Okay, this was about the second point. The third one, produce a document. A strategic plan should be documented to provide clarity or to provide direction and shared understanding, mutual understanding among stakeholders. The plan should outline the organization's vision and mission, and also should outline the goals and strategies and the action plans. And also it should outline the key performance indicators and also documenting the plan helps ensure that it can be effectively communicated or implemented and monitored throughout the process. By incorporating these key elements, organizations can enhance the effectiveness of their strategic planning efforts. They can enable or this will enable them to navigate complexity and make informed decisions and achieve their long-term objectives. Vision. A vision statement is a concise statement that describes the desired future position of a company or organization. It conveys the aspirations and long-term goals that the organization strives to achieve. A well-crafted vision statement serves as a guidepost, providing direction and inspiration to employees or to stakeholders and customers. It also helps us to align efforts and decisions with the organization's overarching vision and serves as a reference point for strategic planning and goal setting. In the vision, we have to ask ourselves these four main questions. What do we want to achieve? What do we want to be? or what community do we dream of, or what do we want to go? Okay, this is very important to ask ourselves these important questions. Mission. Um, a mission statement defines the business or organizational processes or objectives, and approach to achieve those objectives. It outlines, or the mission outlines, the fundamental reason for the existence of the company or organization, and it provides clarity to its core activities and value proposition. The mission statement communicates the overall purpose or goal and values of the company. They are guiding decision making and setting the direction for the organization. In many cases, elements of the mission and vision statements are combined. They are combined to create a comprehensive statement that encompasses the organization's purpose, goals, and values. Strategic planning cycle. The strategic planning cycle consists of several important steps. We have 5 important steps. Here's an outline of the cycle or strategic planning cycle. The cycle starts with the goals. Goals clearly define, first of all, you have to clearly define the goals that the organization wants to achieve. These goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This is called SMART. They should be SMART. What's the meaning of SMART? Means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This is the first one. Okay, where do you want to go? Here, this question should be answered clearly. The second one is desired outcomes. Identify the desired outcomes or the results that align with the goals. Okay, these outcomes represent the ultimate impact or benefits that the organization seeks to achieve. Okay, so we have to answer here in between those two steps. We have to answer, how do we get there? Okay. The third one is the third step is strategies. We have to develop strategies and action plans that outline how the organization will work towards achieving its goals and desired outcomes. These strategies define the approach or tactics and resources needed to accomplish the objective. So we have to answer this question: how do we measure the success? Okay. The next step is measures and targets. What does that mean? Here we have to establish the measures and targets to track progress and success. We have to identify the key performance indicators, KPIs, and metrics that will indicate whether the organization is on track towards achieving this goal or not. So we have to set specific targets or benchmarks to strive for. The last step is the results. Okay, results implement the strategies and action plans and monitor the progress regularly, um, uh, or regularly assess the results and compare them against the established measures and targets. We have to evaluate the effectiveness of the strategies and make any necessary adjustments or refinements. So here we have to ask ourselves, how did we go? And in the last point, how we have to ask ourselves, how can we improve? Because while we have results, we have to update the result to increase the customer satisfaction or the client satisfaction. The strategic planning cycle is a continuous process that involves ongoing evaluation, learning, and refinement. As the organization progresses through the life cycle, it can gather insights or feedback, or it can gather data to inform future planning cycles, okay, or improvements. By following this cycle, organizations can effectively align their efforts or track their progress to achieve their desired outcomes. Um, Assessing our environment. We know we have many tools to assess our environment. One of the most important ones is SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT means SWOT. SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool used to evaluate the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for an organization or a project or maybe a situation. It provides a comprehensive assessment of internal and external factors that can impact the success of a company or organization. We can break down each component of a SWOT analysis here. So first of all, strengths. Strengths, these are the internal factors, okay, that give an organization a competitive advantage or unique capabilities, so the company can compete with other competitors. Strengths can include aspects such as a strong brand reputation, a skilled workforce, or innovative products or services, or efficient processes. Okay, this is the strengths. Weaknesses. These are also internal factors that hinder an organization's performance or put it at a disadvantage compared to competitors. Okay, weaknesses can include a lack of resources, outdated technology, poor customer service, or maybe ineffective marketing strategies. Okay, this is all about the weaknesses. Opportunities. These are external factors. These are external factors in the environment that an organization can capitalize on to achieve its goals. Okay, opportunities can arise from market trends, technological advancements, changes in regulations, emerging customer needs, or maybe available market segments. This is the opportunities. Threats. Uh, these are also external factors. These are external factors they pose uh, challenges or risks to an organization's success. Threats can come from competition or economic downturns, mm, or maybe changing customer preferences, or new regulations from the government, or maybe disruptive technologies. This is this this is all called SWOT analysis. By conducting a SWOT analysis, organizations or maybe companies can gain valuable insights into their current situation. They can make informed decisions about their strategic direction. SWOT analysis helps to identify areas of strength that can be leveraged. Okay, and also it can identify the weaknesses that they need to be addressed and opportunities to pursue, and also threats to mitigate or respond to. The information gathered through the SWOT analysis also can guide the development of strategies and action plans to maximize strengths or to minimize the weaknesses, and also seizing the opportunities and also mitigating the threats. How can we be most effective in using SWOT analysis? This is very important. We have to ask ourselves those four main questions to be effective in using the SWOT analysis. First of all, for the strengths, we have to ask ourselves, how do we use our strengths to take advantage of opportunities? Okay. For the weaknesses, we have to ask ourselves, how do we overcome our weaknesses to take advantage of opportunities? For the opportunities, we have to ask ourselves, how do we use our strengths to make us less vulnerable to threats? And also, we have to ask ourselves, how do we overcome the weaknesses that makes us vulnerable to threats? This strategy is very important. This shows the interrelationship between the four major elements of the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. How to conduct a SWOT analysis for your own vision and mission. For the strengths, you have to know what do you do well. Okay, this is your strength. And also your weakness, where do you need to improve? You have to find the blind spots in your company. For the opportunities, we have to ask, what are your goals? Okay, and for the threats, you have to ask yourself, what obstacles do you face? Okay, this is how you are going to conduct a SWOT analysis in your company or organization. Goals and objectives. Goals and objectives are two terms often used in the context of planning, but they have distinct meanings. In the goals, we have to ask ourselves why. Why do we do, and for whom do we do it? Okay, goals are normally broad statements that define the overarching aspirations or desired outcomes that an organization or individual aims to achieve. Goals are usually qualitative, and they provide a general direction or purpose. They are more abstract and focus on the end result rather than specific actions or measurements. For example, a goal could be to become the market leader in a particular industry, or to improve the customer satisfaction. So we have a general statement. We are not identifying any quantity or any time frame for what the statement is about. But the objectives are different. For the objectives, first of all, objectives are um, specific, they are measurable, they are time-bound targets or milestones that support the attainment of goals. They are more specific and actionable than goals, and they provide a clear indication of what needs to be accomplished. They are very specific. Objectives are often quantifiable rather than qualifying, rather than the qualitative, being qualitative. Um, uh, they can include specific criteria for success. For example, um, an objective could be to increase the market share by 10% within the next year, or to reduce customer complaints by 20% by the end of the quarter. So this is something that tells you numbers, so that they are very specific. Okay. In the context of planning, goal statements are used to articulate the broader aspirations, while objectives are developed to provide specific targets or benchmarks that contribute to the achievement of the goals. Goals set the direction, and objectives provide the actionable steps to reach the desired outcome. The downside of traditional goal setting. Goal setting or traditional goal setting has some drawbacks. It can make employees less engaged, or it can limit their creativity and lead to goals that don't match each team's needs. It can also make it harder to adapt to changes. Involving employees in or getting their input uh, helps solve those problems and leads to a better goal setting and performance. Here we have the hierarchy of the management, of the organizational management. Top management is objectives. We have in the top management, we need to improve the company's performance here. And for the division manager's objective, I want to see a significant improvement in this division's profits. But here in the department manager's objective, they tend to increase the profits regardless of the means. Here, for the individual employee's objective, they don't worry about the quality, just work fast. So these are the traditional goal setting weak points that sometimes make the organization to deviate from getting or from getting the success of the company. Drucker's objective is for organizational survival. Drucker identified several objectives for organizational survival. These objectives encompass various aspects for organizational performance and development. Here we have those objectives. The first one, market share. Maintaining or increasing market share is crucial for an organization's survival and growth. It involves effectively competing in the market and capturing a significant portion of customer demand. This is the market share. Innovation. Innovation, emphasizing innovation is essential for organizations to stay relevant and competitive. This objective involves continuously developing new products or new services or processes that meet customer needs and provide a competitive advantage. Another point is profitability. Enhancing, productivity. Enhancing productivity is important for optimizing resources and improving operational efficiency. This objective focuses on increasing output or values generated per unit of input, such as labor or material or maybe time. Another point is profitability. Achieving profitability is a fundamental objective for any organization. It involves generating sustainable revenues that exceed costs and result in financial success. Another point is social responsibility. Social responsibility, addressing social and environmental concerns is increasingly important for organizations. This objective entails demonstrating ethical practices or contributing to the well-being of society, or maybe minimizing negative impacts of the environment. And another point is worker performance and attitude. Worker performance and attitude, ensuring high levels of employee performance and fostering a positive attitude among workers is very crucial for organizational success. This objective includes providing a supportive work environment, promoting employee development, and motivating employees to achieve their best. Another point is physical and financial resources. Effectively managing physical and financial resources is essential for organizational survival. This objective involves optimizing the allocation and utilization of resources to support operational activities and strategic activities. Another point is manager performance and development. Developing capable and effective managers is vital for organizational success. This objective focuses on on uh, managerial talents, or maybe promoting leadership skills, or we can say ensuring the managers that they are equipped to drive organizational performance. By addressing these objectives, organizations can enhance their chances of survival and success in a competitive business environment. Each objective plays a role in strengthening the organization's capabilities and aligning its activities with long-term sustainability. Um, Means ends chain and MBO. MBO means management by objectives. The means ends chain and MBO are concepts. They are concepts related to the goal setting and performance management in organizations. First of all, means ends chain. The means ends chain is a concept that describes the interdependence and alignment of goals within an organization. It represents a hierarchical structure where the accomplishment of goals at one level becomes the means or pathway to achieve higher level goals. Um, in this integrated network of goals, the achievement of lower level goals contributes to the attainment of higher level goals. This creates a chain-like relationship. Management by objectives, MBO, it is a goal setting and performance management approach that involves setting mutually agreed upon goals between managers and employees. The process of MBO typically includes defining specific objectives or establishing performance targets and outlining action plans to achieve those objectives. MBO emphasizes the involvement of employees in goal setting and uses these goals as the basis of for evaluating and managing performance. By aligning individual and team objectives with organizational goals, MBO um, aims to enhance employee motivation or employee focus and accountability. Um, sorry. Steps in MBO. MBO management by objectives typically involve the following steps. Step one, the organization's top management formulates the overall objectives and strategies that align with the organization's mission and vision. This can be mentioned as the formulating overall objectives and strategies step. Step number two, it is like allocating objectives. Major objectives are allocated among divisional and departmental units based on their respective roles and responsibilities. The third one, step number three, it can be called like setting objectives. Setting objectives with unit managers. Here, unit managers collaborate with their managers to set specific objectives for their units. These objectives should be measurable, achievable, and aligned with the organization's overall objectives. Step number four, it is called setting objectives with department members. Like specific objectives, specific objectives are collaboratively set with all members of the department. This ensures that everyone is involved in the goal setting process. Step number five, here we specify action plans. Action plans are developed here for the purpose of outlining how the objectives will be achieved. These actions or these action plans define the tasks, resources, timelines, and responsibilities that may be required to accomplish the objectives. Managers and employees agree upon these action plans. Step number six, it is like implementing action plans. In this step, the action plans are put into action, with managers and employees working towards achieving the objectives outlined in the plans. Step number 7, it is the review, the reviewing or feedback step. In this step, progress toward objectives is periodically reviewed and feedback is provided to employees. This helps us to track performance, identify areas for improvement, and make necessary adjustments to stay on track. Step number 8, in this step, it is, or we can say it is the step of reinforcing successful achievement. Successful achievement of objectives is reinforced through the performance-based towards and recognition. Employees who meet or exceed their objectives are recognized and rewarded, fostering a culture of performance and goal attainment. By following these steps, MBO provides a structured approach to goal setting or implementation and performance management, or fostering employee engagement, alignment, and accountability throughout the organization. Planning and organizational level. Planning across the organizational level is very important, and it's very important to understand the levels of management related to the planning phases. Planning occurs at two main levels within an organization. Actually, it is three main levels. Strategic planning. Here in the middle, we have tactical planning, and we have operational planning. But we generally can say we have two main phases: strategic planning and operational planning. Strategic planning, tactical planning in the middle, and operational planning. Each level serves a specific purpose. Okay, it contributes to overall success of the organization. First of all, strategic planning. Strategic planning takes place at the highest level of the organization. It involves setting long-term goals and determining the overall direction and strategy of the organization. Strategic planning considers external factors such as market trends, competition, and industry dynamics. The outcomes of strategic planning guide the allocation of resources and shape the organizational vision and mission. This level of planning typically covers a period of 3 to 5 years, or even sometimes longer. Okay. Here in the middle, for the middle level managers, we have tactical planning. Tactical planning occurs at the middle management level. It focuses on translating the strategic goals and objectives into actionable plans and strategies for specific departments or functional areas within the organization. Tactical planning involves determining the resources, budgets, and activities required to achieve the strategic goals. It usually covers a shorter time frame, such as 1 to 3 years. The last one is operational planning. Operational planning takes place at the front line or operational level of the organization. It involves detailed planning and coordination of day-to-day activities to execute the tactical plans. Operational Operational planning includes setting specific targets, assigning tasks, scheduling activities, and ensuring the efficient use of resources. This level of planning is typically short term, um, covering weeks or months. Um, the three levels of planning are interconnected and work together to ensure the organization's goals are met. Strategic planning sets the overall direction. Tactical planning translates the strategic objectives into actionable plans, and operational planning focuses on executing those plans at the operational level. Effective coordination and alignment between these planning levels are essential for achieving organizational objectives and ensuring the long-term success of organizations. Planning and organizational level. Planning in an organization is influenced by various factors, including environmental uncertainty and the length of future commitments. Additionally, different approaches can be discussed to planning that can be adopted based on the organizational needs and resources. First of all, environmental uncertainty. The level of uncertainty in the external environment can impact the planning process. When uncertainty is high, it's important for plans to be specific but also flexible. This allows the organization to adapt and respond effectively to changes in the external environment. Specific plans provide clarity and guidance, while flexibility allows for adjustments as needed. Secondly, length of future commitments. The concept of commitment in planning refers to the time frame for which plans are made. Plans should extend far enough into the future to meet the commitment is made when the plans were developed. For example, if an organization has made long-term commitments to customer or stakeholders, its planning horizon should align with those commitments. This ensures that the organization can fulfill its obligations and achieve its objectives within the specified time frame. Approaches to planning. Organizations can employ different approaches to planning based on their structure and resources. One approach is to have a formal planning department. Which consists of planning specialists dedicated to assisting in the development of organizational plans. These specialists focus on analyzing data, conducting research, and facilitating the planning process. Having a dedicated planning department can enhance the quality and effectiveness of the planning process. However, it is worth noting that not all organizations have a formal planning department. Smaller organizations or those with limited resources may rely on a more decentralized approach to planning, where planning responsibilities are distributed among various departments or individuals. In such cases, collaboration and coordination become crucial to ensure that planning efforts are aligned and cohesive. Um, the goal of planning at any organization uh, mm, uh, is to provide a framework for achieving objectives and navigating the future. The specific approach to planning and the level of formality may vary depending on the organization's size, complexity, and external factors. Strategic business planning process. Uh, the strategic business planning process typically involves four key phases: focus phase, analysis phase, planning phase, implementation phase. For the first one, focus phase, this is the first phase of strategic business planning. It is to establish a clear focus for planning process. This involves defining the purpose and scope of the planning effort, identifying key stakeholders, and setting specific goals and objectives that the organization aims to achieve through the planning process. The focus phase ensures that everyone involved understands the purpose and direction of the planning process. The second one is analysis phase. In this phase, a comprehensive analysis of the external and internal business environment is conducted. This includes analyzing market trends, customer needs, comparative landscape or technological advancements, and the organization's internal strengths and weaknesses. The analysis phase provides valuable insights and information that serve as a foundation for strategic decision making. Planning phase. The planning phase involves translating the findings from the analysis phase into actionable strategies and plans. This includes setting strategic goals and objectives, or formulating strategies to achieve those goals, or identifying the necessary resources or timelines and performance measures. The planning phase involves making informed decisions about the best course of action for organization based on the analysis conducted. The last phase is implementation phase. Implementing or implementation is the final phase of the strategic planning process. It is like implementing the plans. This involves putting the plans into action, allocating resources, assigning responsibilities, and monitoring the process towards the defined goals and objectives. Implementation also includes communication and engagement with employees and stakeholders. This ensures their understanding and commitment to the strategic initiatives. Throughout the strategic business planning process, it is important to regularly review and evaluate the progress and outcomes. This allows for adjustments and refinements to be to be made as needed to ensure the organization stays aligned with its strategic goals and objectives. Strategic plan and business plan. Um, a strategic plan and a business plan are two distinct but interconnected documents that serve different purposes within an organization. First of all, a strategic plan. A strategic plan is a high-level document that outlines the long-term goals and objectives or strategies of an organization. It provides a roadmap. It is like a roadmap for the organization's future direction and serves as a guide for decision making. The strategic plan typically covers a longer time frame, such as 3 to 5 years or even more. It focuses on the big picture and addresses questions like where do we want to go and how will we get there. This is about the strategic plan. And what we have about the business plan, business plan is a more detailed document that outlines the specific details and operations of a particular business venture or initiative within the organization. It focuses on a shorter time frame, often like 1 to 3 years, and it provides a comprehensive description of the business model or market analysis, operational processes, marketing strategies, financial projections, or maybe other relevant information. And a business plan is typically used to secure funding, attract investors, or guide the launch and operation of a specific business unit or project. A strategic plan set is, we can say, as comparison between the strategic plan and business plan. A strategic plan sets the overall direction and goals of the organization, while business plan focuses on the specific things of a particular business venture or within the organization. Another point is strategic plan guides the organization as a whole, while business plan addresses the details and operational aspects of a specific business initiative. Both plans are important in driving the success and growth of an organization, but they serve different purposes and cover different levels of detail. How can managers plan effectively in dynamic environments? In dynamic environments, managers can plan effectively by adopting certain strategies and approaches. First of all, develop plans that are specific but flexible. It's essential to have specific goals and plans that provide clarity and direction. However, in dynamic environments where conditions can change rapidly, plans should also be flexible and adaptable. This allows for adjustments and modifications as new information or challenges arise. Second point, keep planning even when the environment is uncertain. Uncertainty is a common characteristic of dynamic environments. Instead of waiting for complete certainty, managers should embrace planning as an ongoing process. They can gather relevant information, monitor trends, and make informed decisions based on the available data. Regular reviewing and updating plans is uh, uh, or in response to changes in the environment helps. It's very helpful to stay ahead and navigate uncertainties effectively. Another point is allowing lower organizational levels to set uh, goals and develop plans. In dynamic environments, uh, top-down planning may not always be effective, as managers at lower levels often have direct knowledge and understanding of the challenges and opportunities. Empowering lower level managers and employees to contribute to the planning process can tap into their expertise and insights. This promotes a sense of ownership and commitment, or increase motivation, and allows for quicker response to changes in the environment. By following these approaches, managers can enhance their ability to plan effectively in dynamic environments. It requires a balance between having a clear objectives and the flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Effective planning in dynamic environments is an ongoing process that involves continuous learning, monitoring, and adjustments to stay aligned with the evolving business landscape. How can managers use environmental scanning? Managers can utilize environmental scanning and um, competitor intelligence to gain valuable insights and make informed decisions. Um, Here we have two approaches for how they can use these tools effectively. First of all, environmental scanning. Um, Environmental scanning involves systematically gathering information from the external environment to identify emerging trends, opportunities, and threats that may impact the organization. Managers can use this information to anticipate changes, adjust strategies, and capitalize on emerging trends. Um, by staying aware of technological advancements or maybe market shifts and changes, or maybe customer preferences, managers can proactively position their organization for success. Um, Another perspective is, or another approach is competitor intelligence. Competitor intelligence involves gathering information about competitors' strategies, capabilities, strengths, and weaknesses, or maybe the actions. This allows managers to understand the competitive landscape and anticipate competitors' moves, the future steps. By analyzing competitor intelligence, managers can identify potential threats, uncover new market opportunities, and develop strategies to gain a competitive advantage. It helps managers uh, um, to make proactive decisions rather than um, reactively responding to competitors' actions. Um, Digital tools. Um, we have business intelligence and digital tools here to discuss. First of all, business intelligence refers to the data and information that managers can utilize to make better strategic decisions. Um, it involves gathering and analyzing relevant data from various sources uh, to gain insights into market trends, um, or maybe to customer behavior and operational performance. By leveraging business intelligence, managers can make informed decisions, and they can identify opportunities, and also they can mitigate the future risks. The second one is digital tools. Digital tools are technologies or maybe systems or maybe a software that enable users to collect or visualize and understand or maybe analyze the data more efficiently. Uh, these tools provide capabilities for data collection, data storage, or data visualization, or data analysis, or finally reporting. They help managers make sense of complex data sets, identify patterns, and extract meaningful insights about the business process. Digital tools enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of data analysis. It enables managers to make data driven decisions uh, in a timely manner. Um, we have also three prevalent digital tools. The digital tools in today's business environment are uh, mainly three tools. The first one is data visualization tools. Data visualization tools allow users to present data in a visual format such as charts, graphs, and interactive dashboards. These tools make it easier for managers to understand complex data sets or identify trends and communicate insights effectively. Data visualization enhances decision making by presenting information in a visually appealing and intuitive manner. Uh, cloud computing. Cloud computing refers to the practice of storing and accessing data and applications over the internet instead of a local computer or hard drive or a company service or company servers. It offers a flexibility and cost effectiveness uh, as the business can leverage cloud services providers to store and process large amounts of data. Cloud computing enables remote access to data, facilitates collaboration, and provides robust data security measures. The third one, Internet of Things. Um, Internet of Things, or we can say IoT, is a network of interconnected physical devices, or sometimes vehicles, or maybe appliances like, and maybe other objects embedded with sensors, softwares sometimes, or connectivity that enable them to collect and exchange data. Internet of Things allows everyday objects to generate and share data over the internet, uh, or provide valuable insights for business. This data can be used for monitoring and control, predictive maintenance, optimizing operations, and improving customer experience. Um, sorry. These digital tools, data visualization tools, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things, they play a significant role in enabling data-driven decision making, or they play an important role to improve operational efficiency and enhancing business performance in the digital age. They provide organizations with the capabilities of harness the power of data, streamline processes, and gain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Um, forecasting Forecasting is an essential preliminary step to effective planning. It involves estimating or predicting future trends, events, or outcomes based on historical data, market analysis, um, and also um, other relevant factors related to the business. By forecasting, managers can gain insights into potential future scenarios and make informed decisions about resource allocation or goal setting and strategy development. For an engineering manager, forecasting is particularly crucial as they need to consider both future markets and future technology. They must anticipate market demand and trends to align their products or services. This involves understanding customer needs or market dynamics and emerging technologies that may impact the industry. By forecasting future markets, or engineering managers can make strategic decisions on product development or on innovation and market positioning. Why we have to forecast for our business? There are some reasons for forecasting that are very essential. Planning and scheduling, communication and collaboration, documentation, resource management, risk management, reporting, and baseline estimates. Planning actually is the first and the most important one in the forecasting. That forecasting provides a valuable insights for and information that managers can use to plan effectively. By predicting future trends and outcomes, managers can anticipate changes in the business environment, and also they can identify the potential challenges and opportunities that develop strategies to achieve organizational goals. Forecasting method. There are several methods and techniques used for forecasting depending on the specific context and data that may be available. Here we have some commonly used forecasting methods. Time series analysis. Okay, time series analysis. This method involves analyzing historical data to identify patterns and trends. Um, uh, Time series forecasting techniques such as moving averages, exponential smoothing, and also uh, uh, integrated moving average. Uh, they are applied to predict future values based upon past observations. We have also time regression analysis. Here in the this is the quantitative forecasting. For the qualitative forecasting, we have also these methods. Actually, we can use, or it's important to note that none of these methods are perfect. Okay, so there are different methods that can be useful in different environments. Uh, they are suitable for the environment depending on the specific situation and data available or availability of data. Um, Sometimes a combination of methods uh, or approach can be used to improve to accurately forecast the future of the company or the business. Project managers and forecasting remarks. Uh, the following factors can have an impact on the demand forecasting. Let's discuss some of those factors. Price of goods. The price of goods or services can influence the customer behavior and demand. Higher prices may lead to lower demand, while lower prices can stimulate higher demand. When forecasting a demand, it's important to consider how changes in price might affect customer preferences and purchasing decisions. Type of goods. Different types of goods or services have distinct demand patterns. For example, uh, essential goods like food and healthcare services to have relatively stable demand regardless of economic conditions. On the other hand, demand for luxury items or uh, the product is that may be more sensitive to changes in income and customer preferences. Competitive landscape or competition. Also, it is one of the factors that affect the uh, affected the demand forecasting. Technology, technological advances or advancement that can significantly impact the demand for forecasting. Economic perspective. Also, it is one of the factors that affect the demand forecasting. It is essential to analyze and consider these factors along with other relevant factors specific to the industry and market when conducting a demand forecasting. Uh, by incorporating these factors into the forecasting process, organizations can make more accurate predictions and effectively plan for future demand. Um, Thank you very much. This is the end of this lecture, and actually, more details on the uploaded version can be found. So this is why this lecture may be a little bit shorter than what we have uploaded in our system, but this is just like more detail. What we have in the version that has been uploaded is more detail about the what we have discussed today. Thank you very much. Have a great day.